Hello everyone, this is Roland right here, back today with another Flesh and Blood video. If you saw my previous video, this is that game, but this time with actual cards. For most of you on this channel, I would assume you've never heard of Flesh and Blood or seen Flesh and Blood. And it's a new card game that's taken off like crazy. And this weekend I've been participating in pre-release events. Today was the first one, Saturday, May 1st, and tomorrow will be the second one, Sunday, May 2nd. It was an awesome time. It's a sealed event. You open up 6 packs and you go. And as you can tell by the playmat in the back, I ended up winning today's event, playing everyone's favorite new class, the Illusionist. And I'll show off that deck in a few minutes. But first we'll go over the cards that I pulled just to show them off. And so there were also 2 promos for this pre-release, cold foil promos. You can kind of tell by the sheen on the borders of the cards. That's what a cold foil is. And so we got 2 of those. Awesome. They're also really good cards when sideboarding. And then here are the pulls that we ended up not using. So I got, these are our Light Warrior cards, Red Engulfing Light, Blue Bolt Courage, Red Cross the Line, Blue Take Flight, Blue Battlefield Blitz Foil, Illumina Ascension Majestic. Awesome, awesome cards. Cards so good. Red Express Lightning, Red Courageous Steel Hand, Blue Engulfing Light, and a Red Bolt of Courage. Now, off the bat, I was kind of looking at this, and there's a lot of really great pulls here. It's just not enough cards. To me, like, I think this is 9 cards. That's just not enough for a Warrior deck here. And I also, as we'll see, didn't pull very good generics, at least not ones I cared for. So ultimately ended up not going Warrior, even with that Lumina Ascension in there. Then we got our Brute, and I actually did pull some really good Shadow Brute stuff. Otherworldly Bellow, we got 1 red. We got a red Graveling Ghoul, red Endless Maw, red Hungering Slaughter Beast, yellow Smash with Big Tree, which is, I mean, like, we're just nailing all the cards you want to get at 6 power too. Hungering Slaughter Beast yellow, a red Deadwood Rumbler, blue Soul Harvest, and a blue Deadwood Rumbler, and another red Graveling Ghoul. And that's it. Like, that's just the 6 power cards. Like, we pulled so many Shadow Brute cards, it's insane. And a lot of it was 6 power. I was very tempted to go Shadow Brute. The reason I didn't was because I was looking at these cards and I didn't feel like I had any solid way to kind of string stuff along. There wasn't a whole lot of banishing going on. There wasn't. I pulled no like attack steroid type cards besides the 1 Bellow in here. And no like generic stuff that would really care about it. I also didn't pull a single Eclipse Existence, which I really wanted to hit as well. We got just some Dread Screamer yellow, Writhing Beast Hulk yellow, Smash with Big Tree blue, and then that was it. That's it for Shadow Brute. So I was very tempted. I almost went Shadow Brute. Maybe just a few good cards would have pushed that in. We got a red Spew Shadow, a foil Howl from Beyond Red, which is pretty cool. This would be a great card for Shadow Brute as well. Well, better for Chain, but still. Blue Lunar Tide Plunder, and this is what really sucked. I think I pulled 2 of these. Yeah, both blue. If these are both yellow or red, I would have probably ran Brute, because these are really good Brute cards in Limited. Unfortunately, pulled the blue variant. We got a Void Wraith yellow, Spew Shadow yellow, Ghostly Visit blue, and that was it. I mean, we didn't pull a lot of generic Shadow cards, and none of them were particularly useful. Then we have our Shadow Rune Blade. We pulled a yellow Seeds of Agony and a red Seeds of Agony. These are really good cards, but I only pulled 2 of them, which sucks, but you know, it is what it is. We pulled a Bounding Demigod blue, another Majestic here, Dimensional Crossroads, not foil, just normal Majestic. Pretty decent card, but I don't know. To me, like, this card's pretty good, but we just, as you'll see, I wasn't confident that I could really hit from Banish that often. We have a Piercing Shadow Vice red, 3 Rifted Torments, 2 of which are foil. These 2 are foil. And that's going to be a blue yellow. Another thing I'm not really stoked about, although the blues are decent in the sense that you hit with arcane damage, which is nice. Another Majestic, the Sonata Arcanix, which I did not want in this deck at all. I don't think it's very good for Chain. Rip Through Reality blue, Rip Through Reality red, Riftbind blue, Riftbind yellow, Vexing Malice blue. Now, These aren't bad pulls. These are all decent pulls. I didn't want to run the Sonata. Crossroads is fine. We did end up getting a lot, but I don't know. Chain, I feel unconfident in limited versus constructed. I don't like the risk that he brings. I think equipment might play into it. I don't know. Equipment I ended up not using. I didn't use the stubby hammers, and I didn't use an even fold, obviously. And for our remaining generics, this was it. This was all we had left. After you'll see what we have in Prism. 2 brandishes, Surging Militia, Memorial Ground, and more Surging Militias. So nothing too exciting that I wasn't already using. But that is what it is. Now let's go ahead and take a look at my Prism deck. So we got, of course, Prism herself. Beautiful card, Iris of Reality, Spectral Shield, and then we have our equipments. So I was very lucky in this. I got an awesome Ironhide Helm and Ironhide Gauntlets. These cards are great for limited. The Blood Drop also was super helpful. I triggered that. I triggered all 3 of those every game. The Time Skippers, man. These I didn't trigger that often. I think I triggered them in only 2 of my 5 games. But when I did trigger them, they were super powerful. I probably should have organized these. I didn't. Adrenaline Rush. I think I only had 1. This is a pretty cool card, although I pretty much just pitched with it every single time. I was very blue hungry. I have a ton of blues, and it was awesome. They let me do so much. I think in limited, going blue is just really good because you just pump that Iris of Reality constantly with those auras. Prismatic Shield Yellow. I don't even think I played that once. I ended up pitching with it a lot. Herald of Ravager. Outmuscle. Herald of Rebirth Yellow. Ode to Wrath. This was kind of useful in 2 games, and that's about it. It's expensive. Nobody ever attacked it, funnily enough. But then again, you have 20 health. Its effects are meh. But, it is what it is. It was a nice card when I did use it. Enigma, Chimera, blue, Herald of Tenacity, red. Never ended up playing this. Seek Enlightenment, red. Spears of Sterility. I think I played this in almost every single match, too. Red. Seek Enlightenment, blue. Wartune Herald, blue. Illuminate, red. Stony Woottenhog. And at this point, you'll see some cards I just used for pitch or block fodder. This was pitch fodder, although I probably could have replaced it with a different one that had 3 defense. I regret keeping this. Yinti Yanti. This was decent-ish in the sense that it was a consistent 3 defense because I had a spectral shield, and then it was a block for 3. A pitch for 3. Another Herald of Ravages yellow. Memorial Ground yellow. Herald of Rebirth blue. Pound for Pound yellow. Ended up, I don't think ever playing this. I was never at the lowest life. Prismatic Shield blue. Primarily use this for pitching. Impenetrable Belief blue, which I thought would be really useful, but nobody I played 1 Leviathan player, 1 Chain player, and neither of them banished their cards. So it ended up not really being used, but good thing it was a blue. Herald of Triumph blue, Wartune Herald red, Zealous Biting blue, just pitch fodder pretty much the entire game. Rising Solar Tide yellow, also pitch fodder. Overload red, weird card, but mostly just there to be there. And then a Wartune Herald yellow. And then lastly was my sideboard, which was a Blinding Beam blue, Blinding Beam yellow, and then my 3 Rays of Hope. So essentially, if I went against a Shadow Hero, I ran all 5. The deck below is 27, so I needed to add 3. But if I went to a Shadow Hero, I just ran all 5. And if I went against if I went against another Light Hero, I ran 2 Beams and 1 Ray of Hope. The Ray of Hope just being pitch fodder. I was too lazy to get another card. But otherwise, that's pretty much it. And honestly, it's a little disappointing. I do think I played very well. I made very, very few mistakes in my games. But this deck just isn't like it's not exciting. Like you're not really doing anything that you feel deserved, if that makes sense. There are a few times when you're comboing your heralds and your shield stuff. That's really cool. Using your equipment wisely is really cool. Don't get me wrong. You are making intelligent plays, but it's just kind of sick when you're like going against another Prism or going against Bolton or Chain, and you're just like, yeah, pitch for 1, swing for 6 or 7, whatever, and it goes into Soul. You just attack with your aura first or 4, then pitch for, it's just so easy, I guess is the problem, which is very reminiscent of Warrior. Warrior is a very easy class to play. Illusionist in Limited specifically is easy because there's no risk in deck building. If you have the cards, you have the cards. Like you don't need to worry about anything, whereas Leviah and Chain especially, having a lot of cards is nice, but you need to have the right cards to actually make things work. So a little funky. I pulled 3 Majestics, which is nice. No cold foils or anything like that. One person pulled a Legendary. They pulled the Phantasmal Slippers or whatever, Phantasmal feetwear, something like that. And that's about it. I think there was 4 cold foils and stuff, but nothing mind-blowing. So really cool. Hoping to do well tomorrow. If I win, you'll see another video. If I lose, you'll probably still see another video. So that's about it. This is Rolling Right, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you.